The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and they get
He missed the pit complete. That is crazy
West
stuff.
side Freitas is on the grass on the infield for 4. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
They hail from around the globe, and though separated by oceans, they gather in the virtual world for reasons as varied as their locales. Whether it's a defending champion looking to retain his title, a new and eager hopeful striving for recognition, or a legend prepared to recapture past glory, in the end, the one goal they all share is to win. But when naming a victor, only one driver's name can be etched into the record books. You're watching the Tidal Influence MX-5 World Tour!
From Road Atlanta, you're watching the Global Sim Racing Channel's live as it happens coverage of the MX-5 World Tour's Round 9 Gazelle Awareness event, brought to you as always by the good folks at Tidal Influence. 2 weeks ago, the tour stopped at Silverstone, where former champ Evan Maillard's charge from the back earned him his second checkered flag of the season, along with the consternation of race stewards. Today, knowing this is his last race of the season, three-time champion Jan Koeman hopes to extend his lead far enough that no-show compensation in the final 2 races will be enough for him to add a 4th crown to his trophy case. Amjad Yaman and Deuce Allen have taken measurements and know that the championship is within their reach. And the Slovene machine rookie Patrick Fliss continues his quest for the holy grail that is the perfect Ironman season. These storylines and many more will play out over the next hour when the checker flag falls at Road Atlanta. Hello everyone and welcome to another GSRC broadcast. I'm your host, Bill Soup Zahn. Helping me call the action is the best thing to hail from Australia since Crowded House. Richard Losper, turning the knobs and pushing the sliders, is the hardest working man in sim racing broadcasting, Joe Peak. And at his disposal will be the camera locations provided by the Ansel Adams of iRacing, Dougie Beard. Well, everyone, with this and one more race in the regular season before the double distance, double points grand finale at Bathurst, Jan Koeman sits 73 points to the good of Amjad Yaman and 113 ahead of Deuce Allen. But Koeman's real-world commitment will force the Speedmaster to miss the final 2 events. So every position is important as Koeman hopes to stock up on points before the points famine that lies ahead for him. Katchen's still in 4th, but he'll be hard-pressed to race again this season. Maillard has 2 wins and a runner-up in his only appearance this season. 2 rookies, the Slovene machine, Patrick Fliss and Julian Airfaro Frey, sit 6th and 7th respectively. 2-time defending champion Richard Losper rests in 8th. Yuris Jalenko and Dexter Castro round out the top 10. But before we delve deeper into the personalities behind the wheels, let me turn the mic over to our MX-5 expert Richard Losper to talk about the track that will be under the wheels. Richard, 27 laps, a restricted fuel cell that will require 1 pit stop, and a you break it, you bought it, no fast repair rule, all takes place on the blacktop that is Road Atlanta.
Yes, sir. Good evening to you and a very warm welcome to all our viewers. Just a couple of corrections for you, Bill. Firstly, Crowded House is from New Zealand, not Australia.
Oh, sorry about that.
Although they're very close, they are neighbors, and in fact, I think one of them actually lives in Australia. However, back to the racing. Now we are at Road Atlanta, 2.54 miles, 4 kilometers, 12 turns. I call this the roller coaster. Couple of very good passing opportunities here, particularly down that long back straight from turn number 7, 8, 9 and 10 is all really the straightaway, and then you get down into 10 A and B, which is the chicane. That's your best passing opportunity at this track. Very dramatic elevation changes, lots of blind corners. Of course, the worst corner in iRacing probably is corners 2 and 3, where you go uphill into a blind crest with a right-hander, and then down again immediately through the S's. So a very exciting track. We are going to see some excellent racing here, Bill. I want to tell you, but before we start talking racing, let's have a look at a lap guide, and let's have a look what it takes to negotiate a full lap around this track.
All right, we've got Eklund behind the wheel, GSRC on the hood of our MX-5, and we're about to take a lap around Road Atlanta. Coming across the start-finish line, you've got the fast right-hander of Turn 1 coming up. The very brave are going to try to go through here too wide, but it's going to slow each car up. Get all the way to the inside curb and then track out all the way to the outside curbs because you got to carry your speed up this steep uphill. Then you've got braking for Turn 3. Pretty tricky, and it's blind. Take as much of that inside curb as you can, but don't get too greedy because you can get a slowdown penalty if you're not careful. Now you've got the S's. It's going to be single file through here, but it's still flat to the floor, so you got to get the line right. Then braking for Turn 5. Left, uphill, very fast, and you're going to see guys possibly oversteer and lose it off into the barriers. Then the approach to Turn 6. This could be a passing zone if you got a good run coming out of 5, but once again, fast corner because of that banking. Get that curbing on the right there, then it's a short burst into 7. Most important corner on the circuit. You really want to set yourself up for the exit because of this back straightaway. You're going to see guys possibly take a slower entry just so that they can set up a better exit out of here. Now, even though the rest of this track is a very technical track, because of this long back stretch and the draft in these MX-5s, it's going to be a very strategic race. And you're going to see guys possibly wait for the end to snipe somebody just to get a spot. Now you're approaching turns 10A and 10B, the chicane. This is your best passing opportunity on the whole course. Heavy braking. You're going to see guys go too wide through here, but you can defend on the outside. Now, once again, important to get the exit right because you're going to be flat all the way to turn 1. Up over the crest, heading into that fast right final corner. Very scary in faster cars, but this one's pretty easy. Cross the start-finish line, and you've finished a lap around Road Atlanta.
If a driver can do that, they should be able to have a very good lap time. And speaking of good times, it's time for our segment called, what is it this called? There it is, Mountaintop Cabin Rentals Keys to a Good Time. It's a chance for us to hear from some of the drivers we don't usually hear from because they don't usually make the podium. Now, that really, again, doesn't really apply to our guest right now. We have Glenn McGee. The only reason Glenn may not make the podium today is he's starting from the very back. Glenn, what's it going to take for you to have a good time?
I came to this race with you guys at Okayama. It was a good time no matter where it was. I mean, everybody's really competitive, and the racing was actually really clean, but very door-to-door. And so, I'm just happy you guys invited me back, and I'm just happy to come out here and race with all these fast guys and have a good time.
Yeah, this is Richard, Glenn. How's the track out there? It's we're looking at clear skies, 18 degrees, so the track temp's around 37 degrees. This is, of course, speaking in Celsius, which is the European version. How's it feel out there for you?
It feels good. I didn't practice earlier, so it's I couldn't compare it to something else, but the car's responding pretty well. I'm working off of the baseline, and it's understeering a bit, so I'm trying to make some adjustments to it, trying to get the car to turn in a little better and track a little better through the corners. So and obviously at the top of the hill after the S's, there's a big bump there, and if your setup's not right, it looks like it throws you in the wall, which I've already done a couple times, so I'm trying to sort of dial that out. But the track is, it seems good as far as I can tell.
Okay, Glenn, well, good luck for me. You're starting from the back because you didn't post a qualifying time this week, so get on through there as quickly and as safely as you can, and we'll maybe see you up at the front.
Yeah, I hope so. Thanks, guys.
All right, and hopefully Glenn will be able to stay away from trouble. And if you want to get away from your troubles, why not visit Green Valley Lake, the best-kept secret in Southern California, San Bernardino Mountains, where your best bet for lodging, not for lodging, is Mountaintop Cabin Rentals. To get the keys to a good time, go to gvlcabinrentals.com. Okay, we've taken care of all the business now. We can go ahead and show you the qualifying grid from what these guys have done this week. Now, qualifying takes place during the week, so we all know their time. And then the top 6 qualifiers are then inverted based on their season standings, how well they've been doing. So we're going to see somebody interesting at the top. Now, if you look up there, you see them highlighted in yellow. There's Travis Swenke making his 13th career start right now. He's 12th in the standings. He's going to be on the pole, your 5th fastest qualifier. Next to him will be the Slovene machine, Patrick Fliss. Again, he's trying for that perfect season, trying to run every lap the entire 11-race season. In the second row, you have 2 guys who are really in the championship hunt, John Deuce Allen and Amjad Yaman. Yaman with a little bit lead on Allen. Those guys are going to be starting in the second row. Then we get back to Jan Koemans, the 3-time champion, the Speedmaster, making his 85th career start in the season. You see him first in the standings, but we know that he's going to miss the last 2 races, so he wants to score as many points as we can. And then the newcomer, number 224, Michael Avancino. He's a rookie. This is making his first start today, but he's quick. He's gridded back in 6th because he doesn't have an average time, but he did make it into the quick 6. Richard, let's see what the next 4 rows look like.
Yeah, certainly. Daniel Kent and Joseph Errol, they are on row number 4. Then we've got Billy Bob Wright and Benjamin Nelson on row number 5. Brian Cartier and Michael Wright, not to be confused with Billy Bob Wright. I'm not quite sure whether they are in fact related, but they are on the next row. And then Benjamin Lanouette and Geordie Fike bring up that's row number 7. Back to you, Bill.
I very much wish that those Wrights were related. I wish they were the Wright brothers because they could certainly do some flying on the track. All right, moving to row 8. Andre Hedgeheim from, I believe he is from Sweden, making his 16th start. He's from Norway. My first girlfriend was from Norway, and she had a ton of sweet jokes. I apologize for that. Moving on to Derek Holland, who is not from Norway or Sweden, or from Holland for that matter, starts 27th, 28th in the standings. In row 9, Jeroen Ursum, driving in the Barbie car. You see him parked in the pits right there, hoping to have his first career top 10. He's got a shot at it. I'm going to get this name right. In 18th position, it's Peter Balassa, a rookie making his 5th start today, currently 30 in the standings. Looking at row 10, Derek Suter has a couple races under his belt, had a little trouble on the first lap last race, and actually the Evan Maillard got a penalty for scaring him on the first lap. Al Heaton runs on the outside of row 10. In row 11, Tuan Tran, a newcomer to the series, was the champion in the what is that called? The Nagel Cup in the Absolute Beginner League in the Skippies. Great to see him racing here for the first time today. Good luck to him. Trip Spitz, a veteran, running in the 11th position. Then finally, in row 11 is the bullet train from Japan, Tomoki Kono. But the bad news for Tomoki is he was a little naughty. The IRT is going to make him serve a first lap stop and go penalty right off the grid. So there you have it, 23 drivers scheduled to race today. I think we have most of them here. It should be pretty exciting.
Yes, indeed. Now, I'm just trying to see where Glenn McGee is. We, of course, have Glenn McGee with us as well.
He'll be starting He'll be starting at the back because he was a late arrival, so he didn't make our grid there. So he'll be starting right next to Tomoki Kono.
Okay, now this is going to be very interesting from 2 perspectives. One, Bill, they're both fast, so expect them to move forward from that last and second last position. And the second perspective is, if you look at their cars from the front, they both have exactly the same color, Bill. So it's going to be hard to distinguish one from the other. So we'll need to know whether we're talking about Tomoki Kono or Glenn McGee.
Well, with my rods and cones, even if they were different colors, they'd look the same to me, so that doesn't really matter. But one thing that you have to keep in mind, everybody, is that Kono does have that early stop-and-go penalty. So it's really a question of how aggressive he's going to be on the first lap. And they can actually stretch that stop-and-go. They can I've seen a run that they run it maybe 2 or 3 laps. But if I was Tomoki, I'd come in, get that out of the way right away, get some clean air, and then we'll see what he can do. What happens is that each driver has a penalty rating based on their last 5 races, and if you get into too much trouble, if you're a little too aggressive, then that penalty rating gets up a little bit, and the IRT slaps you, and you have to serve a stop and go, and that's what's happened to the Japanese driver. It's really a shame because he's really fast. Now, keep in mind, though, there are some guys that are not here. Richard Eklund is not here. I said Richard Losper in our opening. I apologize for that, Richard. Although you're always welcome to race with us, it's good to have you in the booth. But this is Richard Eklund, two-time champion, who is running, I think, about 8th in the standings right now. And they're about to grid.
And of course, we don't have Evan Mayotte with us either tonight. And that is going to be very exciting. As you say, they are gridding up right now. Tomoki Kono, it's a shame after the great showing he put on at the last race. But we'll see if he can do that stop and go and get up there anyway. So, Bill, back to you as they start to grid. And with the number of cars here, they're right around the corner from the start. So, it's going to be on for young and old very, very soon. Back to you.
Yeah, I can see on iRacing now that the black flag has been thrown for Kono. So if he didn't know he was going to get one, he's going to be seeing it now. The lights are up. Now keep an eye on Travis Swanky sitting on the pole. And I'm going to say that's kind of an orange-colored car. Correct me if I'm wrong. He gets a pretty good jump off the start. Now on the outside of him is Fliss, but making a move through the middle, the peanut butter between the bread is Deuce Allen. Deuce Allen is going to split him as they head down into the first corner, but Swanky's going to have the inside position. But no, Allen charges into the first corner. Can he keep it off the grass? He does. Allen takes over the lead from first. Fliss is going to move into second. Swanky begins to fall back. Koumans has moved up from fifth, got ahead of Yamans, is now running in fourth. Yamans is in fifth, and then the Finding Dory car. Look at that beautiful machine of Daniel Kent running in sixth position.
Yeah, and looking from the rear of the field here, driving along with Glenn McGee at this point in time. These guys have only made a couple of positions at this stage as they go through turn number 5. Very tricky. But Tomoki Kono, look at Tomoki already on the inside, going towards turn number 6. A gaggle of cars there. Tomoki pushing his way through. He's almost making contact. They're very, very bunched up the cars are here at this point. And Tomoki, of course, will have to serve a stop and go penalty. I want to see whether he goes in on lap number 1 or not. But let's see what's happening at the front. Back to you, Bill.
Koumans has moved up into fourth position now, ahead of Yamans. They're running 1, 2, 3, 4. Very quiet so far. I turned the sound up for listening for incidents. Koumans making a look on Swanky, not going to get that done. Allen still out in front with Fliss in second. Swanky doing a good job protecting that third place position with Koumans, who's very aggressive early. Yamans running in fifth position behind him. Now there's a little bit of distance back to sixth place, and I sure hope that's the paint scheme that's showing up for you. Oh, it looks like it is. It's the Finding Dory car, that beautiful blue Pixar paint scheme from Daniel Kent, running a great performance up there, very high from him in sixth position. We're going to drop back a little bit. There's our newcomer. We haven't seen him, Michael Avancino, running in seventh position in kind of a black and yellow checkerboard machine. Very nice. And then behind him, the veteran Joseph Arrow. That takes you all the way back to eighth position.
Yeah, Michael Avancino, a newcomer, as you said, very fast. I saw him running the last week at the official series at Bathurst. He was certainly fast there, certainly doing well here as well. But at the front at the moment, Travis Swanky, who had quite a slow start, sitting in third position behind Patrick Fliss and John Allen. Bill, John Allen has really taken the bit between his teeth, and he's trying to win this championship this season, isn't he?
Yeah, we're on board with Joseph Arrow, who had a bit of a scare there. Got very loose and let Billy Bob Wright get around him in the X-Lax car. Wright moves up into fifth position now. Arrow dropping down into ninth. Benjamin Lanowet rounding out the top. Oh, I'm sorry, it's wrong Benjamin. Benjamin Nelson rounding out the top 10 in the Roll Tide car, the Alabama Crimson Tide. Battle behind him for 11th. Oh, look at this three-way now. That's the other Benjamin Lanowet in 11th. That yellow car is Tomoki Kono, has yet to serve that black flag, running up in 12th. And then Brian Cartier in 13th. Very clean so far, Richard. I haven't heard any contact anywhere.
Oh, there's been a little bit around the back. If you look at Tomoki's car, he has got some damage on his car.
Amjad Yaman making a move now into third place. He's going to get around Travis Swanky. Swanky, though, not giving up the ghost. He's going to fight back. They side by side. Cialis Bathtubs down the straightaway, but Yaman is going to be able to make the lead, pick up into third position. And now, take a look at the lead here as Fliss is not sorry. That's a battle for second place. That's a battle for fourth place. Sorry. Fliss looking at Swanky right now.
Yeah, meanwhile, Jan Koemans has moved up into second place. He's right behind, and he's going to grab it. He's going to grab first position. Jan Koemans just made the move, coming out of turn number 5, I should say, on John Allen. John Allen's got a problem. He's maybe got to slow down because he's lost another position to Amjad Yaman, and now he's under threat as well from Travis Wenke. Yes, definitely. No. He's slowing down. He had a slowdown penalty without a doubt there.
It's not a slowdown penalty. This is like a massive slowdown penalty. I think something's wrong here. I went back to look. I didn't see him cut a corner. The slowdown penalty is taking forever to serve if it is one. My goodness. I don't know what's going on there. I would worry it's some type of mechanical problem.
I think he got the slowdown from turn number 3 already, way up there on the crest before we even got to him, and he was pushing it along into turn 5 there through the S's, and then of course he had to slow down, otherwise he could have got black flagged. He's back on pace now again, so definitely that looked to me anyway like a slowdown, but he's lost multiple positions and will have to battle all the way now from is that 6th position? Yes, 6th position.
And you can see at the back of your screen there, just ducking into the pits is Kono. He's going to serve that now on lap number 4, coming in to serve that black flag. We'll see where he comes out. The cars are going around him. That's so tough, but the IRT, they like to punish you if you're a little naughty out there on the track. Hey, let's jump back a little bit. I'm looking at a nice battle. Derek Holland right now in a battle with Glenn McGee. Now, Glenn McGee was our pre-race interview. Of course, he's very, very fast. The only reason he's back there is that he didn't put in a qualifying time. McGee, Richard, is already up to 15th position.
Yes, as we drive along with McGee at the moment, going into turn 5. Once again, this is such a tricky turn. You've got to balance the car, and it's so easy to get it wrong and go wide. As Glenn McGee, having a look, then drops back to the outside, goes on the inside now onto turn number 6 there, doesn't get it done. Meanwhile, Derek Holland coming back at him. So they're going to be heading down the straightaway now. Let's see what Glenn McGee can do here. He's got 2 possible positions he can make up, but look at the defense on the inside there of the cars in front of him, which is Jordi Fike and Andre Hagan. They're not going to give up easily. They don't care whether you won the road to 24 or not. They're going to battle to stay where they are. But here they go now, 3 wide coming down to the chicane. Glenn McGee keeps in there. Jordi Fike. That's bad. There's some contact there, and the big loser is Glenn McGee. He tried a little too much there, Bill.
Yeah, the peanut butter got squished out above the bread on that when he was trying to go in there. Couldn't make it work. That was going to be pretty daring, but it didn't look like he lost a lot of time. We're watching it on replay now. There you see McGee in the middle, and he got into a little bit. He went to the left there to the inside, got into Hedgeheim, and then missed Fike altogether.
Yeah, should have backed out there. Very hard to do when you're in the car and you can't see left or right. This is sim racing, of course. We can call it from here in our comfortable positions in our armchairs, Bill, but it's not that easy on track. Well, he's gone into the pits to get repairs. No fast repairs, so he'll be there for a while. Meanwhile, let's get back to the action up front where Jan Koemans is leading the race now. He has got a little break, about 0.7 of a second on Amjad Yaman in second place. Very good racing from Amjad. Travis Wenke currently in 3rd, and Patrick Fless stalking him in 4th place. And then John Allen now back up to 5th place. So it's going to heat up again. And of course, bear in mind there is a pit stop to come for everyone in this race.
And the real battle, if we can drop back a little bit, is between the blue Finding Dory car and this black and yellow checkered car of Michael Avancino. These guys are going at it in this battle for 6. It's great to see Daniel Kent having a great showing. Very consistent driver. And Avancino is new on the scene. The series officials are very happy to see that he's very patient, biding his time to get around Kent. A nice battle going on for 6th position right now as we ride on board with the newcomer Avancino.
Yeah, and they go into turn 1. He was very fast in there, had to back it up just a little bit. In front of him, of course, Daniel Kent. Daniel Kent having a very good race here today. We don't normally see Daniel up this far, But with some of the big names out and some of the other guys, as we
Alan
see,
is in trouble
Alan
again.
in trouble again. Turn number 3, Bill. He's struggling with turn number 3, which is that blind crest there, and he may have got another slowdown. We shall see. But at this point in time, he is dropping back from the leaders. He has got, he's going to have a lot of trouble catching back up to them now. Daniel Kent just behind him. I don't think Daniel has the same pace to mix it with John Allen, but if John Allen continues to have problems with some of these corners, he is most definitely going to be in trouble with the faster guys. And Daniel Kent showing a good turn of speed. You know, Bill, there's something that that we never mentioned, but some of the drivers like certain tracks over others. I find that in the official series as well, and you'll find somebody that
Billy Bob, I'm sorry to interrupt. Billy Bob Wright looked like he was going to get into the back of Joseph Arrow. You're right. Go ahead, Rich.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on this trio in front of us, which is Kent, Avancino, and John Allen. But what I was trying to say was that you'll have tracks where you're much better than the opposition. Then you come to a track and suddenly the opposition is much better than you are. So there is a certain liking for certain tracks, and I think Daniel Kent, to get to the point, likes this track because he is doing very well here.
Yeah, but now to set the scene here a little bit, we really have a 4-car train out in front. We don't need to focus on that. It's Koemans, Yaman, and then a great running from Schwenke, still running in third, and then Fliss in fourth. But then we get back to the real exciting. We have Deuce Allen, who keeps getting slowdown penalties. He's dropped back into fifth. Then comes the train of Kent and Avancino, and then Joseph Arrow, who's been having some excitement. Billy Bob Wright now up to 9th position, and then look at that car. There's our Tidal sponsor, Benjamin Lanawood, in the Tidal Influence car, running in 10th right now, giving Wright a look-see as they come down into the right-hander here. And then right behind them in the Roll Tide, Benjamin Nelson in 11th, and back to 12th, Brian Cartier from California. There's your top 12 in a great battle.
Yeah,
you can see them all on the screen right there. Great camera work by Dougie Beard.
Yeah, that's no question about it. Dougie knows his cameras. Back to the front now. Jan Koemans, Amjad Yaman. The gap has remained steady at about 3/4 of a second. Amjad Yaman not making any impression at this point in time on Jan Koemans. Jan Koemans leading the race. Amjad Yaman in second place. One could say that Amjad is playing it patiently here and will probably try to make a move if he can after they've done the pit stops, or try to outmaneuver his opponent in Jan Koemans in the pit stops. Travis Schwenke, great job from Travis, the Asbury Motorsports driver, racing for himself, of course, in this series, in third place. And then Patrick Fliss, who has impressed us all season long, in fourth place. And it looks as if he's quite close here to Travis right now. So look for a battle to develop as they go down the back straight soon. So let's see what will develop here. They're very, very close here, Bill, in third and fourth place.
Yeah, there you see. Now, just to follow up on, as we keep that battle, we keep watching the Fliss and Schwenke battle there. And I'm not sure how much Fliss really wants that position. I think he is really excited about being the first person to have a perfect season in the Ironman. So I don't think he's going to take a lot of risks. To follow up on Yaman, he's big picture racing right now. He really doesn't need the win. What he wants to do is finishing ahead of Deuce Allen, his closest competition in the points. Let's drop back real quick to 14th position. Andre Hedgeheim in a battle with Derek Holland. This is for 14th position. But these guys are really going at it there. Two kind of gray and brown colored cars, at least for my eyes. And look at Hedgeheim, misses the apex, and Holland is going to take over that position. And now moving up behind Hedgeheim to make that position on the inside is Michael Wright. There's a new Wright for you. And then back behind them in the popcorn position, Tuan Tran. So that battle, what's Hedgeheim going to do? He tries to keep a straight line there. And look at Tran's trying to make it 3 wide on the outside. There's no room, as Hedgeheim says, not going to happen, my friend. But it looks like that Michael Wright is going to secure that position for 15th. Andre Hedgeheim's going to drop in. Oh, he's going to duck in there. Not going to get it done through the chicane. And now let's keep an eye on Tran. Tran's going to have some momentum as they go 3 wide down the straight. This is going to be interesting. Hedgeheim going to the outside. Tran looking to the inside. Wright trying to make that car as fat as he can.
Yeah,
I don't
very
know if
good,
they're gonna
very
go
good
ahead,
racing here. Good racing here, and Andre Hedgeham having his hands full here. He's attacking again as they're going to turn number 1. Tuan Tran having a good look, as you say, in the popcorn position. Now they go too wide into turn number 3. Not a good idea at all. And Andre Hedgeham has to give it up. Tuan Tran looking on the inside. Now
turned
he
him.
gets into Hedgeham and turns him round. That's not good.
No, that wasn't good. And I saw Tran. What he did was back out. He saw the problem going on, and he backed out so that he would have momentum. And then he got a nose inside Tran. Now the IRT is going to have to look at that, and what they will look at to see if who was going straight and who was moving from this far away. And I'm 3,000 miles away from Road Atlanta right now. It looked like Hedgehine had a straight line and Tran might have turned him, but things always look different when you take a closer look. Let's jump back up to 11th spot now. Benjamin Nelson in a battle with Brian Cartier as they go side by side.
Actually, in front of them, Benjamin Lanowet and Billy Bob Wright having a ding-dong battle as well. And in front of them, watch out, Joseph Aero, Michael Avancino. Joseph Aero backed out there, gave it up. Look at them, 3 wide going down to finish off lap number 9. And quite a gaggle here. Like 4
careful,
cars,
Billy!
5 cars, and there they go, accident time.
All right, again, from 3,000 miles away, it looked like Avancino held a straight line. It looked like Billy Bob Wright was coming over on him. They'll take a closer look. We're going to take a second look at it right now. Keep an eye on Billy Bob Wright there in the X-Lax car. We're a ways back here, though. We're not being a wise, but there we go. Oh, we're looking now at, there's some excitement going on up front. This was the incident going through the chicane there. Now there is Avancino in the yellow car. Now we'll see if we can go long enough. Here we go. There's Billy Bob Wright in the X-Lax car in the middle of the track. Avancino in the yellow and black car on the outside. Avancino seems to be very wide. Does he come over? Does Billy Wright? Oh, that's going to be a tough call. Who got into who?
Yeah, that's a tough one, that one, Bill. We will let the IRT sort that one out. Anyway, Billy Bob Wright is now in the pits. And he's lost his 7th position, which he was in just before the accident there. Let's go back and have a look at John Deuce Allen. He seems to be just about...
We're going to stick with Daniel. Are we at Daniel Kent? Look at Daniel Kent in the middle of the road. There goes Lanowet on the inside looking for room. Lanowet gives a little bump, and then on the outside, I think that's the other Daniel no, that's Joseph Arrow in that dark red colored car, running in 6th position. There's fighting going on. Arrow's going to duck inside. He's going to get inside of Kent. Yes, Arrow's going to get that job done, take over 6. Kent loses momentum now. Lanowet with nowhere to go, but meanwhile, from behind, Cartier with momentum, and now Kent gets actually bumped into pit lane. I don't know if he was meant to go into pit lane, but you're going there now, Daniel. Look at this battle up in front. Brian Cartier in 7th, Nelson in 8th, Lanowet in 9th, Avancino, the newcomer, in 10th. Holy moly.
Yep, some really good action here. Joseph Aero made a lovely clean pass there going into the chicane, and he is clear of that trouble there. But going back to Avancino, you can see Avancino now, he's directly behind Benjamin Lanowet. Benjamin Lanowet behind Benjamin Nelson. Nelson behind Cartier. This is where the action is. Pretty quiet at the front at the moment. I checked in on those guys. They're pretty much one behind the other. The action is right here, Bill.
We got a little bit of battle. Maybe we can, as we're right by with Avancino. I'm looking at it right now. Yaman's running in 2nd. They're pretty much nose to tail now. But Fliss, I believe, has gotten around Swinky. If I look at my notes, I believe Swinky was in 2nd. And maybe Fliss now making a move as they're coming into the chicane. Fliss is going to duck to the inside. I think he is. Yaman's going to be on the outside here. Let's see if Fliss is going to force this issue. He's gaining slowly. No, he backs out. Does he back out too much and let Swinky in there? No. Fliss being very cautious, and that's how you get the perfect Ironman. He could have forced the issue there, Richard.
Absolutely, he could have forced the issue there. Good driving, allowing Yaman to go through there. Now, Fliss, he certainly could have forced the issue there. He was on the inside, he had the line, he gave it up, which... I don't know, maybe that's too gentlemanly. And of course, Travis Swenke is an absolute gentleman on the track, so he just stayed right out of it. So these guys almost unwilling to have a battle right here, Bill.
And if you're a driver wondering if the MX-5 World Tour is for you, I say yes it is, because there's good fighting all the way through here. Sure, Jan Koemans is out in front with almost a 4-second lead. Yeah, he's cooking with hot fish grease out there. But that doesn't mean you're not going to be able to find a good battle. There's a great battle for second, third, and fourth. Then Deuce Allen running all by himself, having a horrible time. Every time he gains time, he seems to lose it. But then this great battle right now, if we drop back in on it again, it's a battle for 6. With Arrow in the dark color car out in front, Cartier, Nelson, Avancino, and then Benjamin Lanowet. A great battle from those guys.
Yeah, this is where there's some good action here. Brian Cartier has moved up now onto the rear of Joseph Arrow. Joseph Arrow will have to defend well as they go down the straightaway. There are 5 cars in this train, Bill. Starting from the rear, Benjamin Lanowet, and then you've got Michael Avancino, Benjamin Nelson, Brian Cartier, who's in the position now to attack.
Here he goes.
Joseph Arrow, and he goes to the outside, defense from Joseph Arrow.
Oh, we got action up front, though. It looks like Fliss making move on Yaman for second place. They're going side by side out of the final corner. Now, Cialis Bathtubs down the main straight. They're going to need this settled before they get to the first corner. It's Yaman on the inside, Fliss with momentum on the outside, and looking back at the action, saying, hey, I want to get in this too. Is Schwenke looking for somewhere to go? Yaman's going to have the preferred position, and I think he's going to be able to close the door on Fliss, and that leaves the door open for Schwenke, who's going to jump back in to third position, but Fliss says not yet. Nope, Fliss is going to back out now. Fliss falls back into fourth. Great battling going all around.
And the respect the drivers have for each other is superb. Absolutely superb to see. Patrick Fliss there giving it up for Travis Schwenke, realizing that too wide through turn number 3 is just not on. And of course, Amjad Yaman stuck with his line on the inside all the way from the last turn number 10, or turn number 12, sorry, all the way to turn number 1, and he maintained that position. So this is a good battle going on here, and this is for the second place. However, Bill, we are on lap 13 out of 27, so we're getting to the halfway point of this race here. Won't be too long before we start to see some pit stops.
Well, I think we've already seen it. Daniel Kent has come in. I also think, has Deuce Allen come in? No, he has not. Yes, Deuce Allen has come in as...
I got a break in here. This battle is on again for that second position. Here comes Travis Schwenke going for P2. Yes, Amjad Yaman hanging on there from the outside, defending from the outside, Bill, which you can do on this track. Now, Travis Schwenke has, of course, made himself vulnerable to Patrick Fliss, who goes in on him in the final turn number 12, and now Patrick Fliss goes into third position. Travis Schwenke loses that position, and now Fliss can have another look at Amjad Yaman. So there's a ding-dong battle here, and it's almost like playing, what do you guys say in America? They're ping-pong, where the ball goes one way and then the other, Bill.
Yeah, well, what happened? The same thing happened to Schwenke that happened to Fliss before, where Fliss made a failed attempt on Yaman, lost momentum, and Schwenke got around him. Schwenke made a failed attempt on Yaman, lost momentum, and Fliss got around him. So let's see if Fliss can learn from that now. If you're going to try to get Yaman, you want to get all the way through. Meanwhile, I was talking about pit stops. I know that Daniel Kent has pitted. He's a lap down. He pitted from near the lead, but it looks like all of our leaders are still out there. Koemans, Yaman, Fliss, Schwenke, Allen, Arrow, Cartier, Nelson, Holland, Kono. Oh, look at Kono up to 10th position. In fact, let's keep...
Yeah, Tomoki Kono is absolutely flying, trying to make up ground. He is 38 seconds back from the lead, though, Bill, so it's a tough ask for him, but certainly a great job to get back into 10th position. Now, I'm having a look at the front here. Jan Koemans, a 7-second, well, almost 7 seconds lead here. I'm sorry, we're getting information from our director here. Can you repeat, director?
Fliss has made the move into second place, got around Yaman coming into the chicane.
All right, got it.
Yeah, and so Fliss now having the second place, he got that one solved. Now, what was I going to talk about? Remember, we have pit stops to still come up here. But yes, Koeman, this is the reason that the 6 the six quick gimmick, the quick six gimmick was invented, was in the early seasons, Koeman would start from pole and there would be wire-to-wire races. And I got to give a shout-out to Jan Koemans, who supported the idea of having the quick six gimmick, which really was not to his advantage, making him start usually in second or third row. Well, he's done it. He's gotten around all the drivers who qualified ahead of him. Drivers like Swanky, Yaman, Fliss. He's got around all of those. Allen, and now he's up in front. And like I said before, cooking with hot fish grease.
Yeah, and Jan Koemans does like this track. We have seen him win here before, or certainly have great races here every time he comes here. But, Bill, this second position is still up for grabs. Hey, they're still battling away here. Now it's Fliss in second place, Amjad Yaman behind him, and Travis Swenke still in there. Having a look, just be quietly sizing up the competition here. Behind them, we've got John Allen battling away, trying to catch up to them. He's 12 seconds back, more than 12 seconds back. And in front of him, we've got Trip Smith. So that's going to be a lapped car in front of him. So John Allen got his work cut out to even catch up to these guys. Joseph Arrow, who is about 24, so there's a big gap from the first five, well, from the first four to fifth place, and then for another big gap to all the rest of them. We won't go there. It's about 24 seconds to Joseph Arrow. So really, these guys are not in contention. It's those guys in front. Jan Koemans, comfortable now, can virtually go into the pits at his leisure, take his fuel and tires or whatever, and then come out and, with a little bit of effort, win this race, I'm thinking. However, if he makes a mistake in the pits, guys like Patrick Fliss, Travis Swenke, and Amjad Yaman will pounce. So we'll see what happens during the pit stops, Bill.
Yeah, if we drop back now as Arrow come in, if we drop back to 11th position, I think this is a battle for the leader of all the cars who have pitted. There goes Benjamin Nelson. I'm going to assume he's made a pit stop, running now in 11th position, getting around Michael Avancino. Those guys have both pitted. I think they're the cars that are out the farthest of all the drivers who've made their pit stops. That battle that we watched earlier between Avancino and Nelson and Holland and all those guys who were in Atlanta wet, that is broken up because some of those drivers have come in and taken their stop. All right, Yaman has pitted from about third or fourth position. He's made a stop now. And he is well ahead of those drivers we were just talking about, well ahead of Nelson and Avancino, who've made their pit stop. So we're going to say Yaman is our virtual leader of all the cars who've pitted.
Yeah, we will keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, Travis Swenke and Patrick Fliss, doesn't look like they've gone into the pits. Let's see what Fliss does. Fliss looks like he's heading into the pits. Yes, he is. Very interesting. What will Swenke do? Swenke's following him into the pits. So that is interesting. Jan Koemans also in the pits. So here we go, guys. The pit stops are happening. These are our leaders. Amjad Yaman has already done his pit stop. He's coming down the back straight at the moment, Bill.
He's got a ways to go. He's got to go through the chicane. So we'll keep an eye on Yaman because he's really the... we're going to assume that Koeman's going to get out first unless he has a horrible pit stop. But it's really a race between Yaman and Fliss. So we'll keep an eye there. Yaman now through the chicane. He's only got the fourth corner. He's around the fourth corner through past pit entrance. Koemans is coming out. He's going to get way out in front of him, but Fliss is still sitting there. Fliss is still there. Fliss is now beginning to roll. Where's Yaman? Fliss is rolling. Here comes Yaman. This is going to be close. Fliss has exited the pits. He's out on the track. I think he's going to get there. Yaman's going to have momentum, but I think it's not going to happen. The doctor of pit topology needs... Oh, he's very... the doctor very close to chasing Swenke.
Yeah, he touched Swenke there. He couldn't make up his mind to go for the pass or not, and the result was that he slight touch there on Swenke, and Swenke went wide. So Swenke will get a slowdown penalty for that as well. So bad luck for Swenke, who did really...
Right. I'm sorry, on replay now, you're seeing Swenke come out of the pits. He came out behind Fliss. So Fliss got out in front of him, but Yaman was right behind him. He had no momentum, and then Yaman comes up. I wish you could see the mirrors here. I don't know if he got a little bit of help. We're going to watch it again. We're going to go back and see if we can watch it from Amjad's car. Here we go. Now, Richard, we're going to see what it looks like from... We're still in the pits there with Schwenke. Let's see if we can find Amjad. There's our... Now we got it. Now, Richard, you can see Amjad from his cockpit.
Yeah, that's correct. And Amjad had all the momentum Amjad was not trying to do anything nasty. He was actually trying to avoid. You can see from the attitude of his guy, he's trying to avoid Swanky.
I'm not sure.
But he had too much momentum, Bill, and unfortunately touched Swanky. But they're still both racing, and no harm done there, excepting a loss of position.
I'm not sure if you're exiting the pits, if you can actually come across the track like that if you're not up to speed. So that put Yaman in a tough situation. Anyway, as pit stops now begin to cycle through, let's go ahead. Yamans has an 8.5 second lead over Patrick Fliss, who's going to be running in second position. Yamans is going to be in third now. About 3 seconds back, as these battles have really, the pit stops have really separated them. Then Deuce Allen is up to fourth, and he's in a nice battle. He got around Schwenke as well. Schwenke had that slowdown penalty, so Allen is now up to fourth. Why is that so important? Because Yaman and Allen are really battling for this championship. Assuming Koemans is saying bon voyage to all of us, he's going to be gone. So Yaman and Allen are really in the battle, and Yaman, no matter how hard Allen tries to do it, Yaman seems to always finish a little bit ahead of him.
Yeah, that's right. So Yaman now in third place behind Patrick Fliss. Jan Koemans has flown the coop. He has got a nice lead. In fact, I'll see when they cross the line. His lead may have increased from what it was before the pits when it was around 8 seconds. Currently, it says that he is still about 8 seconds. I'm thinking that's going to be a lot more than 8 seconds when Jan Koemans passes the line, because Jan Koemans will be doing that momentarily on lap number 18. Bear in mind, this is a 27 lap race, and here we go. Patrick Fliss just coming up to the crest there, approaching the last turn. So Jan Koemans already well and truly into turn number 1. So the gap now, as Fliss crosses the line, is 8.5 seconds. Over 9 seconds. So they're not going to catch Koemans today, I don't think, Bill. And of course, Amjad Yaman further back still, 12 seconds back. So he's got 3 seconds to make up on Fliss. This is interesting.
Let's go to Benjamin Nelson quickly. Benjamin Nelson's in a battle with Avancino, and my dad always used to say the dishes rattle in the cupboard when the elephant's in the kitchen. Well, the elephant, maybe it's a dragon, because Tomoki Kono's now running in 9th position, and he's got Avancino and Nelson in his sights. There goes Avancino, looking to make a move on Nelson. But watch out for that yellow car. Okay, I guess I know from experience that's a green car back there of the Japanese driver. Green car with fluorescent blue rims.
Well, let me remind you, Bill, that we still have to do our 60-second backmarker salute. I think now might be a good time to do that.
Let's go ahead and do it, and we're gonna come back to that Kono battle there. I'll see if I can get this done, but I'm gonna think by the time I'm done, Kono is going to make short work of those guys. Let's bring the 67 backmarker salute, brought to you by the good folks of who is it? It's Eagle Nest Tavern. There we go. No, the sponsor. They're paying for this. We're going to start with the last car on the lead lap, currently running in 18th position. It's Trip Smith. It's Ton Tran. Nope, sorry, you're right. It's Tran. There we go. His first time you see him in that white machine there, running in 19th position. Had a little bit of a problem. I think it might have been with Billy Bob Wright. I'm not sure who that was. Moving up 1 position, Trip Smith running in the 17th spot right now. 1 spot up from that, Peter Balassa, running in 16th position in the kind of that black and red machine, very pretty machine, all by himself. 1 more spot up, Daniel Kent, who we saw earlier running way up front, has fallen back into 15th position. Not sure if it was because of speed or because of incident. Running in 14th is the title sponsor of this series, Benjamin Lanowit, in the Tidal Influence machine, that green and aqua machine. Jordy Fike in that yellow and black machine, a tribute to Speed Racer. I think it's the nemesis of Speed Racer. Maybe anyone who knows watching on the YouTube chat can get in there and let us know what's going on there. Racer X, there we go. Moving up now, right in front of him is a nice little battle. Jerome Ursum Richard Lasper. Jerome Ursum is currently running at 12th position. He holds the record for the most races entered without a career top 10. If there could just be a little help from him, maybe he could get a top 10. And I saw a car smoking in the pits right now. Tuan Tran, his car is smoking. Maybe we can go to him real quick. That doesn't look good for him. I think I believe he's from Holland, and that driver is going to be done. So there's your through the field brought to you by Eagle Nest Tavern in Green Valley Lake. Richard, what's going on with Kono?
Well, Kono made a brilliant move, overtook two cars going down the back straight there, got into the chicane just ahead of them, and took those two positions which he was threatening to do at the time. So it looks as if he has moved up quite nicely now. And in front of him, there's Joseph Arrow. Looks like Joseph Arrow is genuinely in front of him. So that puts him into 7th position right now. But let's go back and have a look at what is happening between Fliss, Yarman. Fliss in 2nd place. We're not even going to speak about Jan Koemans at this point in time. He's got a 10-second gap already, Bill. He's flown the coop, as they say.
There was an incident, though. Koemans, there was trouble. We can go to Koemans maybe and back it up a bit. A car spun right in front of him.
Yeah, he's fine.
Here we go. Maybe we can watch here. Watch on board with Koemans. Now, I'm not sure who that is ahead of him. It might have been the blue car. It might have been Tris Smith. Look, here we go. We're watching Koemans. Let's see if we can get it here. We're on board with Koemans, and you never know when things are going to go wrong.
Yeah.
Let's see what Smith does here. Smith gets a little wide. What's going to happen here? Oh, no, it wasn't. It looks like Balassa, maybe. That was Balassa who had lost it earlier. Smith got around him, and, whew.
Yeah, that was touch and go. And in fact, Jan Koemans came up on Smith just on the exit there to turn number 7. And nearly touched Trip Smith as well, but didn't. So Jan Koemans still in the clear by 10 seconds. Fliss now in 2nd position. Looks like he is pretty clear, 3 seconds or so, although Amjad Yaman in 3rd place is making up a little bit of time on Fliss. I don't think there's enough laps left for Yaman to get into 2nd place. So John Deuce Allen in 4th place here. Amjad Yaman staying ahead of John Deuce Allen, and I'm Jan Koemans, of course, very glad that John Deuce Allen is so far behind him. Then in 5th place, Travis Swenke, not far behind John Allen. If Travis Swenke puts John another place back, that'll be all to the good, and there is a battle developing here. John has not looked comfortable on this track at all, Bill.
And we were watching on screen there, I believe that was Avancino that got around Nelson, or at least was in a battle with Nelson. And now we're looking at the Alan Schwenke battle. Let's give a hat on. Schwenke has been haunting Alan and giving him a hard time. Alan has had several mistakes that's dropped him back a little bit. We'll see if he can just keep the car on the track, if he can pull away from Schwenke. But a great run from Schwenke running in 5th. Now, all you drivers all you fans who are staying up early, getting up early, or watching late from Japan, we are going to get this pass, I promise you. Joseph Arrow right now has a 1.6 seconds lead on Tomoki Kono. There's 6 laps to go. Kono has made a pass probably more drivers than anybody in the entire race. We're going to get this one. He's still got a ways to go, but we're not going to miss it.
Yeah, Tomoki Kono driving that car as if he's being paid to drive it at the moment, because he is just making every corner a milestone right now. Joseph Arrow, who is in 6th place, is ahead of him. Joseph, Tomoki is coming, and Joseph knows it. Now these guys are battling for a position that is 40 odd seconds behind the leader, Jan Koemans. But every position counts in the championship, Bill.
Yep, and you see them coming over the hill right now, and there you're looking at Arrow and that green machine, the green machine, I like that, of Tomoki Kono.
Yeah, that's the green mean machine of Tomoki Kono. What do you call him? The bullet train from Japan. And Tomoki is one of those folks who has to get up pretty early to make these races. I can tell you that it is only not even 5 a.m. in Tokyo, Japan at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not so sure if it's a get up early or stay up late for Tomoki. You're not missing anything up front, guys. The battle is still the same, but maybe we can quickly jump into this Deuce Allen and Travis Schwenke. Schwenke will not go away. Schwenke, every time Allen says, all right, I'm done with you, Schwenke says, oh no, and he's right back on him again. And Allen does not want to give up that position. He's thinking points. You're Schwenke, look at this. I think he's going to get him now.
He may well lose the position. John Allen goes defensive, Travis Schwenke goes to the outside. He's got momentum. They will come down the hill a little bit. Travis Schwenke is well known by myself and guys like John Allen, Tomoki Kono. They race against each other all the time in the official and Advanced Masters Series, Bill. So these are old foes. They race against each other in another league as well, which we can talk about. That's the Extreme League. There goes Connor. We are hearing. Let's go back to that one.
There you go. They're standing and cheering in Japan right now as Kona now moves ahead of Arrow in 7th, gets up into 6th position. Don't know with 4 laps to go if he's going to have enough time to get up to the guys Deuce Allen. He has about 25 seconds to go. But the way that Allen and Schwenke are battling, who knows what could happen there. But Kona now moves up into 6th spot.
And Travis Schwenke has passed John Allen. As I said earlier, John Allen just not comfortable on this track, it seems. Now, I'm not quite sure what that's all about, Bill. I've seen John race on this track many times, and he's not afraid of the track. He can handle the corners. I think early on in the race he might have got some damage. Something happened because he's just not looked comfortable at all.
Well, he hasn't given up on Schwenke yet. Schwenke was beginning to pull away, and now Allen's right there. And as they come down, I think if Allen wants to make a move, he can get a tow. Look at Schwenke hug the left side of this straightaway. He's saying, Deuce, if you're going around me, you're going to go around on the outside of the first chicane. Deuce says, nope, we don't need to do it yet. I'll just give you a hello, I'm here. Schwenke now moves over. I don't think Allen wants to do it there. I think Allen might be setting him up for the last lap. What's interesting, though, on this course, I love this track because while this is a chicane, it's really almost like 2 corners where you can get on the outside of the first part of the chicane, put you on the inside for the second part of the chicane. Let's watch this again. Allen just kind of being a brat to Schwenke, just kind of pestering him, bumping him, rattling his cage.
He's definitely trying to rattle him. He's right on his back bumper. Now he brakes for the entry into turn number 1, which is a wise thing. You don't want to carry too much momentum into turn 1 when you're behind somebody, as the situation is here. Travis Schwenke, no stranger to this track. Travis loves this track as well. So this battle will continue on. It is for the 4th position. Looks like the podium may well have been settled because these guys are 17 seconds back from the leader and at least 5 seconds back from 3rd place. So this is a battle for 4th position, Bill.
Well, that stretches out a bit. Let's jump back to Benjamin Nelson in 8th position. This has been a battle that's been going on for a long time here, and I got to give a tip of the hat to this newcomer, Michael Avancino. It's always kind of scary when we let a new guy in at the end of the season. You don't want him to mess up the championship battle by doing something foolish. This guy's been having a great race, and he's in a great battle right now with Benjamin Nelson. Now, Benjamin is a veteran of this series. He's been around for quite a while. Avancino doing a great job here. Let's see if he can make this pass. Nelson gets a little bit, loses momentum. I think Avancino has a little bit of momentum. He's going to have the inside if he wants to press the SU. Let's see, Richard, what Avancino does if he dive bombs him. No, he doesn't.
Yeah, good driving from Michael Avancino. Lots of kudos to Michael. He's a brand newcomer to this series. He's a brand newcomer to the Advanced Masters series. I'm not quite sure, and I'm not going to say that he's just out of rookies, but he's certainly new on the scene. But he is a very good driver. Look out for this guy next season, Bill. He's going to be there.
Oh, that tells series officials a lot there when they're looking at that. That's an opportunity for him to dive in there and stick a nose in there, and he said no. Now, he may do it later. He may do it on the last lap.
Here he comes. He's going to make the move, going into the chicane on Benjamin Nelson, who gives it up. Michael Avancino moves forward by one place. And, Bill, your first race in any series and to be in the top 10, that is not only good driving, that's terrific driving.
And Benjamin Nelson also, he's been around for a while. He says, thanks for not punting me in that last corner. We'll make this easy on you here. We're not going to, we'll play fair. Nelson not giving up, though. He's going to have momentum here. And meanwhile, don't forget about that battle going on up front there with Allen and Schwenke. I don't think Allen's going to do anything till the last lap. I think he's just back there messing with Schwenke until he wants to do it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, at this point in time, John Allen and Travis will know they're not fighting a death or do or die sort of battle for second or podium position. They're in 4th place and 5th place respectively. They know each other so well. Let's just have a little bit of fun and see how we go. However, Travis Swenke, this is probably his second best finish in the series. And Alan has a little bit of a bobble there, a bit of a scary moment.
Not the first
coming
time.
out of the second last turn. So, but he's back on track again. So let's see. As I was saying, Travis Swenke, second best finish by the looks of it. He's not going to give it up easily, and John Allen is not going to try and push his luck too far, because if he has an accident here now, then that'll put him out of championship contention. So he's got to think about that as well.
Jan Koeman's on the final lap now with about half a lap to go as he heads down into these corners. I think this is, 6 here? I think this is 6, and then here's the toughest corner. If we stay on Koeman's, for me, this is the hardest corner, probably the most important. This is 7. You got to get this thing right. If you really mess it up, which I do almost every lap, it just kills you on this long straightaway. And we're hearing that, oh, look, we have a battle now. Listen, we go back to Fliss here. Yaman has caught up to Fliss. We have a battle now for 2nd place. We have a battle for 4th place as well. Let's go ahead. We'll kind of keep an eye on this. We'll keep an eye on Koeman's as he goes front. But Yamans is behind Fliss, and he has a tow. He has about 2 car lengths to go, Richard. Look at Fliss holding the left side, holding the inside of the front part of the chicane. Koeman's is going to cross the start-finish line. Going under the bridge right now as we're watching Koeman's coming under the bridge. And while this is going on, Koeman's is going to win the MX-5 World Tour race number 9. Fliss was able to hold off Yaman through the chicane. Fliss is going to get 2nd position. Meanwhile, Allen has gotten around Schwenke as they come down, but Schwenke's not giving up on it yet. Does Schwenke have the momentum on the outside as they have a drag race to the start-finish line? Looks like Allen is going to get 4th position. Schwenke's going to get 5th. Oh my goodness. 6th position is comfortably going to go to Tomoki Kono, so let's see if we can find another battle. 7th place looks like Joseph Arrow has it. Let's drop back to 8th position now, Richard, Avancino, and Nelson. As they come into the chicane, it looks like Avancino is going to get it in there comfortably through the chicane. I don't think Nelson is going to get a run here. And it looks like the newcomer, first-time race for Avancino, is going to get 8th position. Benjamin Nelson going to come across with 9th. See if we can see who's going to run in 10th. Finishing another newcomer, finishing in his first race, Michael Wright, coming through the chicane right now, gets in 10th position. Ursum in a battle for 11th right now. He's going to get ahead of... That's Holland on the outside, and here comes Fike in that yellow car. As they go through, Ursum is going to lead the 3-car train through the chicane. Ursum looks like he's going to get 11th position. Oh, Jeroen's so close to a top 10, but yet so far. As Ursum gets 11th, Jordy Fike in 12th, and Derek Holland in 13th. 14th is going to go to the Tidal influence car of Benjamin Nelson. We'll stay on this till all the lead lap cars come around. Daniel Kent, who was up front early, going to finish in 15th position, and I believe that's the last car on the lead lap. I don't know if Richard Losper is still with me. Let's assume he is, and I'll just throw it to break right now. We're going to go to break. Keep an eye on the slideshow to tell you the upcoming events coming up on Global Sim Racing Channel. We'll be back with driver interviews, run down the entire standings, and then, of course, everyone's going to pay attention to the final plugs. We'll be back very shortly. Welcome back to the post-race show, brought to you by the Global Sim Racing channel of the MX-5 World Tour. Pretty exciting event here, the round 9 of the MX-5 World Tour from Road Atlanta. Let's run down the entire field of 23 drivers who gridded up today. Jan Koemans wins his 3rd race of the season on his quest for his 4th championship. Patrick Fliss has another runner-up, hasn't had a win this season, but a couple runner-ups, finishing 11 seconds back. Right behind him, Amjad Yaman, and they were in a close battle all the way to the final chicane, but Fliss was able to decide that one, finishing 2nd. Yaman gets 3rd. Another battle was between John Deuce Allen and Schwenke for most of the race. Allen finally got the best of that, finishing in 4th, and a great finish by Travis Schwenke in the top 5. Tomoki Kono served that early stop-and-go penalty, made his way all the way through the field up to 6th. That's as far as he could get. The veteran Joseph Arrow with a great run in 7th place. Newcomer Michael Avancino, impressive 8th place finish and some impressive race craft as well. Benjamin Nelson in 9th. Another newcomer, Michael Wright, in his virgin appearance in the series, rounding out the top 10. Jeroen Ursum, so close, but yet so far, trying to get that first top 10, missed by just 1 position. It was these darn newcomers, Jeroen of Wright and Avancino, that bumped you out of there. Oh, man. Jordy Fike in 12th position. Baker's dozen spot goes to Derek Holland. Benjamin Lanowet finishes on the lead lap in 14th position. And the final car on the lead lap was Daniel Kent, who got some screen time early, running up front with the leaders. Tripp Smith, first car 1 lap down. Billy Bob Wright had some issues. I believe it was with Tron Tran, if I got that right on the straightaway. I might have that combination mixed up there. Peter Balassa in 18th position. Tron Tran, his first race in 19th, having a little rougher time of it than he did in the Absolute Beginner Series. Brian Cartier rounds out the top 20, 14 laps down. Andre Hedgeheim in 18th position. 21st position, 18 laps down. 22nd position, Al Heaton. And we talked to him in the beginning of the show. Glenn McGee, starting from last place, tried to be the peanut butter in the sandwich and got squished out. He's going to finish last. And there's your 23 drivers. Now we can do interviews. First up, we have our race winner and 3-time champion looking for the his 4th time. Richard is going to talk right now to Jan Koemans. Go ahead, Rich.
Thank you, Bill, and apologies for the technical issues I experienced just before the end of the race. But I am back, and Jan Koemans is with me. Jan, a pretty easy race for you. I know that you love this track. You've won here before, I think. And this one, once you got out in front, there was no touching you. You just had to keep it clean, do your pit stop, and finish in 1st place, which you did.
Yeah, hi, good evening, guys. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much what happened. I was almost disappointed, to be honest, that it went so easy on the one track where I had a pace advantage. I was sort of looking forward to, giving it a good go, but as it turned out, everybody sort of had their issues and drove out of the way. So once I was in the lead, I still took it a little easy because I knew that the draft was hard to break. But once I think Amjad got around 2 seconds behind, I managed to pull away around 6 or 7 tenths a lap, and then after the pit stops, things got so tedious. I actually started avoiding incidents. I did incident-free laps, which I normally never do. So there you go.
Yeah. You had one exciting.
No.
Okay.
Just before you go ahead there, Bill, I just want to say, Jan. So really, the focus for you now, you're leading the championship. This is going to add to your points. The gap between yourself and 2nd place will increase without a doubt. It's just a great pity you can't make those last 2 races, which we understand you can't.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be tricky. I mean, I'm looking at maybe installing it on the laptop, but probably it's going to be too much trouble. But I'll definitely be watching the broadcast and see how things end up.
Alrighty, Bill, go ahead.
One quick question for him. You're not out of this yet. If there's some problems, if Alan or Yaman end up with a little bit of an issue, you can still sneak into this one. Real quickly, were you scared there? You had Balassa parked dead center in the middle of the track. Did you have an easy way to get around that one, or were you caught by surprise there?
Well, the hard part is that it's sort of after a bump, so the spot reward meter is like a car standing somewhere on the right. I mean, yeah, not very specific, is it? So you come, you don't see a bloody thing, and you come over the crest, and there was plenty of time to sort of drive around him. Fortunately, he was standing still. If he had been moving, it would have been a different story.
Yeah, let's tip our hats to that for keeping the brakes on that. Hey, congratulations, Jan. If we don't see you, good luck in the rest of the season, and I don't know how to wish you good luck when you can't race, but let's see if you can get another fourth crown for yourself there.
Thanks, Bill,
And-
guys. Have a good New Year.
Yeah, just before you go, yeah, and do be aware that the last race is double points, so
He knows.
a little tricky for you. If you can make it, be there, because I tell you what, these guys are going to be breathing down your neck for that 4th championship that you are heading for at the moment.
All right. Thanks for the info, guys. See you.
All right. Okay, we're going to talk now. I'm excited to have this interview. I am really excited to talk to Patrick Fliss. We tried this a couple races ago. He had mic problems, and then we briefly got to talk to him before the race. Patrick, congratulations on another runner-up finish. There was nobody had anything for Koemans today, but boy, you were the best of the rest.
Hello, yeah, thank you. That was just awesome. And Koemans is just in a league of his own. So I didn't really look at his time anymore. I just tried to stay away from Amjad, who was catching me in the last laps by 0.2 seconds every lap, and that got me so fired up. I knew he would have had me until the end, so I don't know why he let off in the last chicane, but yeah, that was fun.
You know, we talk a lot during the broadcast of the elusive, perfect Ironman, and I know you want that. But maybe something that's going unnoticed is with Koemans missing and Yaman and Allen not that far ahead of you, there's an actual legitimate shot of maybe you winning this championship. Have you given that much thought?
Yeah, I did see that I could have a chance, but yeah, we'll see. Hopefully my internet connection won't ruin it for me. Sometimes I have random disconnect, so we'll see.
Well, here's the good news. You finished 1 position ahead of Yamans and 2 positions ahead of Allen, so you're gaining a little bit of ground on those guys. One last question. You have to be happy with this season. This is really, I'm so impressed. This is kind of came out of the blue. Are you better than you were a year ago, or is this that you had bad luck when you raced with us
Absolutely.
originally?
Well, I started iRacing 1 year ago, so I have gained some experience, and yeah, I've been getting faster. Hopefully I can get even faster though. I really want to get the overall in the advanced Mazda someday, so
Absolutely. Well, good luck to you. We're going to have season 11, so hopefully if you don't get the championship this year, you're a legitimate shot for it next year, especially if you keep continuing to improve like you are. Great to talk to you, Patrick, and good luck to you the rest of the season.
thank you very much. Bye.
Patrick Fliss, our second place finisher today in race number 9. We have one final one to go to, and we're going to talk to Deuce Allen. Richard and I are going to share this one. Poor Deuce talk about an up and down race from Allen. He was near the front. He was near the mid pack. He's back at the front again, making mistakes in battles. Deuce, you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Now, you were entertaining this one. You were worth the price of admission.
I didn't mean to be.
First of all, did you early on in the race, did you get a slowdown penalty that cost you so many positions? It seemed like it took you like half a lap to serve the thing.
Yeah, what I've learned the hard way is when you get them early, there's no time to compare to, so you have to serve a lot more if you get them in the first lap or two. So I got one on lap 2 in turn 3, and then one on lap 3 in the final chicane, and that was impossible to recover from.
Richard?
Yeah, John, that confirms what I thought. We were trying to work out in that first slowdown where the slowdown occurred. Bill thought, no, can't possibly be a slowdown. But of course, the slowdown happened in turn number 3. And when we cottoned on to the fact that you were losing positions, it was already turn number 5. So A tough race for you. You're moving a little bit backwards from the championship situation. So, how do you think the last two races will go for you? Because you're still in there with a chance.
Yeah, it's all going to come down to the last week because this track is by far my least consistent, and the next track at Brands Hatch is one of my worst. But Bathurst, I feel very confident at, so I just try to keep in touch and see what happens.
Yeah, this before you go, Bill, this track was an opportunity for you, John, to consolidate that position, their second position behind Jan Koemans. Jan Koemans was just gone in the first few laps, so second position would have been handy because some of the other guys, Tomoki Kona had to start from the back. There was no Evan Maillard and a few others as well. So. A pity that this race did not serve you well.
Well, I'm just, the way it started and the way often it goes for me at this track, I honestly was just glad to survive by the end. It's a pity. I threw away probably my best start ever.
Yeah. We're going to try to bring in your partner. Well, maybe we can bring Amjad in. He's your teammate. We can bring him in here now. But before we talk to Amjad, what was the going on with you and Schwenke there at the end? Were you just trying to rattle his cage or just bumping him? Or did you not want to pass him? Or what? That was, oh man, you were being pesky.
I had to because I brushed the wall twice in the race at turn 5, and the second time I did it, I took damage and I was giving up 2 or 3 tenths in the straight. But if I stayed in his draft, I could stay there. So I had to wait. I couldn't make a move early because he would have got me back on the straight. I had to wait till the last lap. I was just trying to get in his head a little bit.
Yeah, we're going. Amjad, you have a copy?
Yes, I do.
We brought in your teammate here. Well, Amjad, you did it again. You got one position ahead of Alan. I guess that's all you need to do.
Yeah, it could have been 2 though. Because coming out of the pits, I don't know what happened to my pit stop. I thought I had a decent one, but I just ended up losing a couple positions. But what happened was I was finding Schwenke out of the pits, and we kind of spooked each other. Schwenke goes off. If he doesn't go off, then he wouldn't fall back enough for Alan would have been able to catch up. So, hindsight being 2020, I wish I would have let Schwenke by at the pits.
Now,
yeah,
boys,
Amjad,
go ahead.
Amjad, thank you, Bill. Amjad is Richard. Yeah, we watched that situation develop there. You had momentum, and Travis didn't, having just come out of the pits and having to negotiate the uphill there. And it was touch and go. You were trying desperately to stay away from him, but there was just the slightest touch, and that kind of set you back because at that stage you were not that far behind Jan Koemans.
Well, Koemans at the beginning, Koemans, jeez, he's so fast.
Yeah.
Just watching him from behind, it's the way he handles that car, the way he gets the weight correct. It's weight transfer correct. It's magnificent what he can do from up there. I mean, I was counting my balls off, and I still couldn't catch him. That's how good he is.
Yeah. Let me, we talked about on the broadcast a lot. We talked about Koemans missing the last 2 races, opening the door for Yaman and Allen maybe to steal the championship. But there's somebody lurking behind you guys who finished ahead of you now. We got to keep an eye on Patrick Fliss sneaking in there and stealing this from you rascals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was one thing. I was doing the points last week, last race, just thinking, what can I do? What can I average? And then I look down and I see Fliss, and he's like, oh, he's actually within striking distance. I should probably pay attention to him. So, yeah. I was really trying hard at the end, knowing the championship could be relying on that to pass, and just couldn't do it at the last lap.
Yeah, before we wrap this up, I want you guys need to mark it, and all the viewers need to mark January 16th. That's the season finale. Double distance, double points. So it really could come down to the championship. Hopefully all of our top drivers can find a spot to get in there and make an exciting conclusion to season number 9. Boys, thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you. Amjad, Deuce doesn't like where are we going next, Deuce, that you don't like?
Brands Hatch.
Oh, Brands Hatch, the little one. A lot of lap traffic to deal with there. So hopefully you guys can have a good finish there, and we'll see you for the finale next year.
All right, thank you.
All right. Richard, final thoughts while I look for my page?
Yes, certainly. The championship is looking like it's going to go down to the wire once again. Season 10 is going to be no different from the other seasons. Always exciting. We hope that in the last two races, all the drivers. I want to see Evan Meyer back. I want to see Jan Koolmans in there, but he can't make it because he has commitments.
Don't count about
It's gonna be exciting, I want to tell you, and hopefully it will be come down to that last race. In fact, it probably will, Bill, with that double points on offer. It's going to come down to that last race. Where is that last race? I know next one is Brands Hatch. Where's the final?
Well, it's right next door to you. It's on the big track at Bathurst, 4 miles.
Oh, I want to say that is going to be excitement plus. Look out for Fliss, Amjad Yaman, John Allen. They can't be comfortable. They've got to do everything they can in the next race to maintain their points. So look out, folks. It's going to be one heck of a finish in the MX-5 World Tour.
You don't want to miss the next race, but January 16th. And don't count out Jan Koolmans. One time he packed his bag full of racing gear and took it on vacation with him, and he raced at some remote island. His feet were in the sand, the waves were lapping at his toes, and he was out there racing on his laptop, and he almost got the championship. Jan Koolmans takes this very seriously. Okay, it's time for the final plugs. Now, I want everyone to pay attention to this because we have a way of tracking this. A shout out to Wolfgang in Strasbourg, who actually watched the entire broadcast last week and all these final plugs as well. We can monitor these guys. If you want to get a shout out, make sure you watch all the way through. A special thanks to Tidal Influence, an ecological consulting firm based in Long Beach, California, that restores wetlands, saves and studies endangered species, and educates the sweet little children about our environment. For more information, go to TidalInfluence.com. Also, Mountaintop Cabin Rentals, the best kept secret in California's San Bernardino Mountains is Green Valley Lake, and your best choice for lodging there is, of course, Mountaintop Cabin Rentals. Go to GVLCabinRentals.com for more information and knock on the yellow cabin in town there. I'll serve you some lunch. And after lunch, why don't you go over to Green Valley Lake where you're here? Go over to the Eagle Nest Tavern and check out Eagle Nest Tavern on Facebook. Have a cold drink and a hot beer there. Thanks to the companies and equipment and software that you see on the screen right now that we use for this broadcast. Our original music that you heard today is thanks to Eric Ekholm and Casey Lalonde, not Casey Kasem that I said in one of the other broadcasts. Well, we love Casey Kasem. He's long gone. It's actually Casey Lalonde, although Casey Kasem was very instrumental in my music upbringing. But that's a different story. I don't know if Casey Kasem make it down to Australia. You know who Casey Kasem is? Top 40? That worldwide? Probably not, huh? Richard's not there. See that on the screen right now for all the guys. There you go. Thanks to my mic make, Richard Losper, not Richard Eklund, who is a points champion, but Richard Losper, who is also a fine driver in his own right. Our director, Joe Peak, Dougie Beard, and the camera locations that he provides. If you'd like to find out more about GSRC, your best bet is to go to GlobalSimRacingChannel.com, along with archived races and race highlights. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook at Global Sim Racing Channel, even though one of those are changing, but the powers never tell me that information, so I'll stick with what's on my script. The Tidal Influence World Tour returns January 16th. That's not right. It's January 9th for the a race at Bathurst, and then the grand finale that we talked about is January 16th, of course, to wrap up the season. Double points, double distance. So we won't be back until next year, but we're back on the 9th and the 16th. You want to come back and visit us then. Okay, I think all the housekeeping is out of the way. So until we see you again, let me wish everybody a happy holidays and a happy new year. We'll see you all again in January 9th for the final regular season race. Race hard, race clean, and we'll see you on the track.
Merry Christmas!